Welcome to the YouTube channel, The Right Place, your ultimate destination for magical ideas, sustainable inspiration, and enchanting designs for your DIY dreams. If you love whimsical fairy houses and nature-based projects, then you're exactly where you need to be. Today's episode will dive into the captivating world of fairy houses made out of cob and other natural materials. You're going to love what we have in store. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and join our creative community. In this video, we explore the third fairy house idea, which stands out for its charming use of cob, a unique mixture of clay, sand, straw, and water, and other natural elements like wood, stone, and moss. It's a delightful blend of fantasy and sustainability. These structures are not only visually enchanting, but also promote eco-conscious living with a deep connection to the earth. One, discovering cob, nature's magical building material. Cob is an ancient building material that brings both strength and charm to any small structure, especially when used to create a fairy house. This mixture of soil, clay, straw, and water forms a sculptable, durable material that has been used for centuries. In fairy house design, cob offers the flexibility to create organic curves and whimsical textures that mimic the beauty of nature. When you craft a fairy house using cob, you're not just building, you're sculpting. This medium allows you to form delicate mushroom-shaped roofs, rounded doorways, and twisting chimneys. The third fairy house idea thrives in this approach, using cob as a base and enhancing it with other earthy materials like stones, twigs, and bark. The results look like something straight out of an enchanted forest. Two, blending cob with wood and stone for enchanted texture. Cob by itself is wonderful, but when combined with wood and stone, it takes fairy house design to a whole new level. The third fairy house idea we're exploring uses these natural elements to create contrasting textures that give the home a storybook charm. Imagine walls made from cob with stone accents at the base and a gnarled wooden door framed by bark. The combination of cob's softness and stone's rugged strength results in a beautifully balanced fairy house. Small, polished river rocks can be embedded in the walls, while driftwood or branches can be used as roof support beams. This natural blend creates a look that feels both ancient and alive, as if the house itself grew from the earth. 3. Designing fairy-sized details with natural materials. The true magic of a cob-based fairy house lies in the details. For the third fairy house idea, using natural materials for miniature elements is where imagination comes to life. Think of window shutters made from tiny bark slivers or ladders crafted from twisted roots. These intricate touches are easy to make and add an extra layer of authenticity to your creation. 'Even the roof can become a masterpiece by layering moss or leaves as natural shingles. Acorn caps become lanterns, and pinecones transform into tiny furniture pieces. When every component of your fairy house is drawn from the forest floor, it feels like the fairies themselves helped you build it. This style invites not just wonder, but a deeper appreciation for the textures and colors of nature. 4. How to build a cob fairy house step by step. Building a cob fairy house starts with preparing your cob mixture, a meditative, muddy process that connects you with the raw materials of the earth. For this third fairy house idea, you'll begin by shaping the structure with your hands, layer by layer. The process is slow and tactile, giving you time to shape curves and carve in unique designs while the cob is still soft. 'After shaping the base structure, you can add natural decorations like pebbles, bark strips, and twigs. As it dries, the cob hardens into a strong and lasting form. Many builders let the fairy house dry under shade to avoid cracking, then finish it with a natural clay paint or lime wash to protect the surface while keeping that earthy aesthetic. 5. Placing your cob fairy house in the right environment. Location is everything when it comes to fairy houses. The third fairy house idea, made from cob and other natural materials, fits best in a shady, sheltered area where it blends effortlessly with the landscape. Think under a tree canopy, near a mossy log, or beside a flower bed. These environments protect the cob from weather and enhance the magical atmosphere. 'Integrating your fairy house into its natural surroundings makes it look like it truly belongs there. Try partially burying it in leaves or surrounding it with ferns and wildflowers. The more it disappears into its environment, the more real it feels. This illusion of found magic is what makes cob fairy houses so compelling and timeless. 6. Preserving and weatherproofing your fairy house. While cob is strong, it needs care to last, especially outdoors. The third fairy house idea involves thoughtful design elements that protect the cob from rain and sun. You can create overhanging roofs from bark or slate to deflect water, and use a natural sealant made from linseed oil or beeswax to give your cob walls extra durability. 'Regular maintenance is minimal but essential. A quick seasonal inspection helps ensure that any moss or debris buildup doesn't retain moisture that could weaken the structure. Thanks to its simple and reparable nature, cob makes it easy to touch up or reshape parts as needed, keeping your fairy house looking magical year-round. 7. Letting your imagination shape the final touches. With cob and natural materials, your imagination is the only limit. The third fairy house idea encourages creativity, whether it's a tiny tree house tucked between roots or a mushroom-inspired hut with a mossy roof. The sculptable nature of cob lets you bring even your wildest visions to life, giving your fairy house a unique soul. 'Add magical symbols. Create a tiny garden with pebbled paths, or carve secret doors into the cob walls. This is where your fairy house becomes truly personal. Let the textures, imperfections, and surprises of nature guide your hand, and in doing so, you might just feel like you're building alongside the fairies themselves. 8. Inspiring fairy tale architecture styles. The third fairy house idea takes strong inspiration from traditional fairy tale architecture, which often features curved lines, asymmetry, and flowing natural forms. With cob, it's easy to mold walls that seem to dance and swirl, echoing the cozy, magical homes from classic storybooks. This architectural style isn't just about form, it evokes a sense of wonder and transports you to another world. One of the best things about using cob and natural materials is that you can reinterpret old world fantasy in your own backyard. Whether you're inspired by hobbit holes, witch cottages, or woodland elf homes, cob provides the organic flexibility to turn dreams into structure. Rounded windows, arched doorways, and vine covered roofs are all possible with this enchanting medium. 9. Using foraged materials for authentic design. A key element of the third fairy house idea is the use of foraged materials that can be gathered right from nature. Instead of buying synthetic decorations, you can explore your local environment for twigs, bark, feathers, stones, and more. This adds authenticity and keeps the environmental impact low while connecting you with the natural world. Foraged materials not only enhance the aesthetic, they carry the story of the land. A pine cone from your favorite trail or a smooth pebble from a stream gives your fairy house personal meaning. These bits of nature blend effortlessly with cob to create a home that feels like it was always meant to exist among the trees. 10. Creating functional features in miniature. While fairy houses are whimsical, The third idea introduces functional features just in miniature form. From cob ovens to tiny built-in shelves, you can experiment with realistic structures scaled down to fairy size. Adding a working door or a lantern that lights up can make your creation feel even more alive. 'Using cob's moldable nature, you can carve alcoves into the walls, form miniature chimneys, and even install small water features using natural gravity. These thoughtful touches invite viewers to imagine the life that exists inside the house, transforming it from a simple model into a fully realized fairy dwelling. 11. Integrating cob fairy houses into gardens. The third fairy house idea is a perfect centerpiece for garden integration. Placing your cob creation among flowers, herbs, or vegetable patches adds whimsy and enhances the landscape's biodiversity. Insects and small creatures may even find shelter nearby, making your garden a living, breathing fairy realm. 'Cob structures blend beautifully with green surroundings, especially when nestled near moss, creeping vines, or tree roots. Over time, nature may begin to reclaim parts of your fairy house, furthering the illusion that it's been there for ages. This harmony between man-made and wild is part of the deep beauty of cob-based designs. 12. Seasonal decorating with natural themes. One of the most charming aspects of cob fairy houses is the ability to decorate them seasonally. For the third idea, natural elements can be swapped out to reflect spring blossoms, summer greenery, autumn leaves, or winter pine cones. This keeps your display fresh and ever-changing throughout the year. 'For example, in autumn, you could line the base of the house with colorful fallen leaves, while in spring, decorate it with wildflowers or flowering herbs. Using materials like acorns, dried citrus, or snow-dusted twigs gives your fairy home personality and helps it celebrate the shifting rhythms of nature. 13. Telling stories through natural design. Each Cobb Fairy house tells a story, and the third idea is no exception. From the design of the structure to the placement of tiny objects, every choice can suggest a tale. Is the house home to a wise forest guardian, a mischievous sprite, a retired potion maker? The materials you choose can support and express that narrative. 'Using natural textures and forms like twisted roots for a ladder or quartz crystals for light adds depth to your storytelling. Small handmade signs, carved symbols, or even footprints in clay pathways can give hints to the unseen life within. Your fairy house becomes not just a structure, but a setting for imagination to unfold. 14. Encouraging eco-education through creativity. The third fairy house idea is more than a creative project, it's a powerful tool for eco-education. Teaching children, and even adults, about sustainability through hands-on building with Cobb fosters a sense of care for the planet. It makes environmental concepts tangible and meaningful. 'By introducing others to natural building methods in such a fun and magical way, you're inspiring a new generation to respect and work with nature rather than against it. Every Cobb Fairy house is a quiet act of stewardship, a small symbol of how beauty and sustainability can go hand in hand. 15. Conclusion: building magic with your own hands. As we've seen throughout this video, the third fairy house idea made from cob and other natural materials is more than just a creative project, it's a celebration of imagination, sustainability, and connection to the earth. Whether you're shaping walls with your hands or gathering moss from your backyard, every step brings you closer to a world where fairy tales feel real. Thank you so much for watching today's episode on The Right Place. If you found inspiration in these magical ideas, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with fellow dreamers and nature lovers. And remember, every lump of cob, every twig, every stone can become part of something enchanted. Your fairy house is waiting to be built.